Right, welcome back everybody here with us here on Cape Rugby TV. We keep taking a look at what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. It's nice to have you along. Jerome, Faisal, one of the things that we've been again talking about is the return on investment that clubs have out there. Faisal, you probably deal with this firsthand every day, is the challenge around funding. Jerome and I've been working a lot on getting clubs to send their jerseys in, and of course it's interesting to see how many clubs have got new sponsors on board. They've managed to get out there, they're bringing it to the TV show, they're getting exposure for their club, but there seems to be, in addition to the rugby playing side of it, there seems to be an element of, call it marketing, some public relations, a little bit of commercialization, that we're getting the call it a return on investment for local business in the club space.
No, definitely, JP. I think one of the key things is the different platforms that the guys are starting to use now. And I think also, look, many of the clubs are made up of a lot of, I would say, the older guys that have been there for years. And it's good to see also the youngsters coming on board and, opening up these platforms in terms of how to get the club's name out there, how to get more visible. I think, like you mentioned early on, I think in Western Province, we're very fortunate to have Cape Rugby and, allowing us the opportunity and the club's opportunity to utilize the platform. So we need to take advantage of it. I think, many of the clubs out there also, I think also don't seem to understand is that it's there for them.
Yeah.
We need to make use of it. We need to get out there.
I mean, Jerome, you've played enough club rugby in your time, and the one thing that you always wanted was for someone to buy you the jerseys, someone to buy you the Boerewors rolls, someone to help you with your transport. It didn't have to be the multi-billion rand sponsor. You just wanted enough to make sure your club was surviving, good administration, someone to make sure there's tea and biscuits for the meetings. At the moment, what we are providing is a space for local business to be able to support clubs.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it makes a big difference. Like back in the day, we had to pay to play at the club.
Yeah.
We had to pay our subs. We had to pay to get jerseys. We had to pay for everything. But nowadays it's different with media, with the TV, with social media, with everything. Guys get seen, so sponsors are keen to get aboard, and I mean they get value for their money.
Yeah. We're just looking here behind me now. I think there's Gundo Evolution from Rangers. Well, you can't see it there now. Motivaps. These are all new guys that have come into the space. Faisal, Fika there. I'm seeing Fika here with Excelsior. There, SUP Auto, which is of course with Goodwood. Alto Towers, which is with Kales River. Even Busy Bees. Busy Bees has got a new jersey up there. Of course, Wigs. Wigs is with Hamilton's. So we've seen it, and so we can see it, in fact, with the change of the jerseys.
100%. The one thing is, JP, I think that's what we also, like, Jerome mentioned back in the day, we had to do that. I think people are also starting to realize it's a community. And I think, I had a meeting with one of the clubs. It's about how we all fit into this community, from the outsiders, from the support in terms of what the players and the supporters are giving towards, the businesses in that community. So it's just a different mindset that we all understand, it's a partnership that we have, it's not just a club, it's a sponsor, it's everybody.
100%. So, I mean, I think, folks, if you heard it now firsthand, engage with us here. We link you to Western Province Rugby. We link the clubs into Western Province Rugby. And as Faisal said, it's about a relationship that is a full circle process. Clubs to union, clubs, sponsors, local business, and of course, from a TV point of view, we wrap it all up for you that the exposure goes out there for the clubs and for the business to invest in. Let's quickly take a look at the results then from Super League B. Kylemore went down to Belleville this past weekend, 59 points to 12. It was a win for Franschhoek over CPUT by just 1 point, 32-31. Macassar with a win over NTK, 39-24. Hamlets with a win over Hamadias, 30 points to 28. And then Collegians, well, they went down to Kraaifontein, but we're not going to give you that result now because we're still going to take a look at that game in a second or so. Jerome, I think one of the results that jumps out for me there a little bit is the Hamlets with their win over Hamadias.
Yeah, that's a big win for them because they were struggling early in the season. So I think they will take that points.
Yeah. And Faisal, Alistair Tays will be disappointed with that very close win, or at least lost it by 1 point, 32-31.
Yeah, it's hard. So I mean, I always say, 1 point could have could have gone either way in that there. So
Yeah. So if we look at those logs then, French Hook though, you can see now that they've had a good season. They're sitting at the top of the log, followed by Kraaifontein, Primrose, Belhar, Macassar, Goodwood, NTK, Collegians. There's not too much room there for the teams to be shifting around, but NTK, Collegians, they could still squeeze into the top 6, Jerome.
Yeah, they could. I think the only team that's basically done there is Belleville, and I think they would be happy about their result.
Well, they're safe.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have. I think they wouldn't have been safe. But I think I don't know. That seems like they look all right. So, yeah.
Okay, well then that's one team that's not going to be phoning you for a last-minute scrumming advice. Let's quickly take a look at Super League C, folks. We are still going to take a look at Collegians Kraaifontein game. Super League C, of course, in the logs there, it's Young People's and All Saints, Gardens, Violets, Rangers, and Atlantis. One or two small movement opportunities there, but Faisal, Super League C looks like it's almost done and dusted.
Yeah, almost done and dusted, very tight. Like I said, it's all the permutations, but you only see the true reflection at the end of that tournament.
Yeah. So one of the aspects, folks, that we said that we would definitely be focusing on is the Challenge Cup. So let's quickly run you through some of the logs. Then I'm going to go back to Faisal more on the Challenge Cup. Albions, Temperances sitting at the top of Pool A. Then it's Lagunya, Silverleaf, Whistling World, Manabuk Rangers, and Thistles. In Pool B, Blue Jet, Silvertree bring up the first and second places, followed by Young Wesley's, Gordons Bay Pioneers, Cloutiesville Suburbans, and Retreat. Pool C sees Stelkor, Windmill United on the cards, followed by Titans 4, Excelsior, Khayelitsha, and Blakes. And then Pool D is Northern's Peninsula, followed by Igmikawi, Young Ideas, Police, Young Stars, and Bishop Labours. Faisal, for you at the moment, the teams that look like they're on top of the pile there, of course, Albions and Temperance and Cities, Blue Jets and Silvertree, Stelkor and Windmill United, and then Northerns and Peninsula.
Yeah.
The Challenge Cup itself is a competition on its own.
No, 100%. I think I just want to make mention, I think it's nice to look and see that Temperance is there in the running. It's a club that has been struggling now the last couple of years. It's actually great to see. Like I said, we're saying all the years is that it's not necessarily about winning it, but for me it's more important to see how the club has grown in numbers, how the support is growing, and it's nice to see what they're doing, in terms of reviving the club and that there. So
and this,
I think
of course,
from
at City Park.
At City Park, I mean that's fantastic, JP. I think they've got a strong contention there, for taking the Challenger Cup and that they're in the running there with the top two on top of that.
Talk to me a little bit about activities coming up this weekend at City Park. I believe our women's rugby is also on track behind the scenes. Lots of activity happening there.
Yeah, so we've got basically 18 clubs participating at City Park, playing against each other. It's a nice showcase for women's rugby. Clubs to also see that women's rugby is alive and kicking. The numbers are growing. The strength is growing. It's 9 matches taking place at City Park, so it's fantastic.
Is that, of course, the two different divisions, Group A, Group B for the women, where you've got 9 teams in each group?
Yep, that's correct. It's a bit of also, cross matches taking place as well. So the clubs have now moved over to cross section where we also now establish the strength between the different groups and that there. So all of them will be playing.
What time? And it's open to the public?
Yep, free access. It's Women's Day. So it's more about marketing the game. So anybody interested who's got some sort of keenness to want to play, come out. We'll have the clubs out there promoting the clubs, also wanting to sign up new players as well.
So this is a massive day of a full celebration of women's rugby at City Park with 18 different teams. Playing 15s?
Playing 15s. I think it's great. Also a sponsor on board for the ladies. I think it's good to know that our sponsor Scores come on board. They're helping the ladies with regards to jerseys and trying to
Score energy drinks.
Score energy drinks.
Score energy drinks on board, folks, to support women's rugby.
Supporting women's rugby. Always there, always helping and supporting. So I think, from a club perspective and that women's rugby is looking to grow. It's here to stay.
Your thoughts, Jerome? You're going to be down there on City Park this weekend. Make sure the scrumming is going right.
Yeah, look, I'll definitely be there because a lot of these girls are, most of the girls are playing for Western Province or whatever. And you always see some girls there at that sort of tournaments. So there might be 1 or 2 players that we've missed.
Bit of scouting going on.
Yeah.
Right, folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we're going to show you the highlights between Collegians and Kraaifontein and the fixtures coming up this coming weekend. Back in a sec. Don't go away.